Hello everyone, you're welcome to the topic quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is a second order polynomial and the fundamental theorem of algebra guarantees that quadratic equation has two solutions. So it looks like this. So I said it's a second order polynomial equation. So you can see that the highest order we have here is 2. So, and this is what we call a quadratic equation. To find the roots, we assume y is equals to 0. So now we are asked to determine the roots of the equation here. And also, one other thing we need to know is that this coefficients of the highest order, that a cannot be equals to 0. That's one thing you need to know. It can't be equals to 0. So example 1, we're given this equation and we are asked to find the roots to simplify this. So one method we can use is you identify what the coefficient of the highest order is, which is here, it is 1. So A here is 1, B here is 4, this 4, and C here is 4. So one way of solving this kind of equation problem is I don't always usually use the quadratic formula except I can solve it in this other simplified way. So what I do is you multiply your coefficients here, which is 1, by 4. So 1 times 4, which is 4. So I now have to think about what numbers can I multiply by themselves to give me the 4 up here. And when I add them, gives me the b. So when I multiply, gives me the c. When I add, gives me the b. So if I multiply 2 by 2 plus 2 by plus 2 here, that will give me plus 4. And that's the c. If I add the 2 plus 2, it will also give me plus 4, which is the b, because the c up here is plus 4 and our b up there as well here is plus 4. So that means 2 and 2 are the roots that I can use. So I just need to fix them in the equation by saying x squared plus, so I represent these 2 and 2, I represent them, I put them in here. I'm trying to find roots of the b. So I'll represent them and say 2x plus 2x plus, then I put my 4 back, equals 0. So I can now factorize. So what is common here? So x is common. So I say x plus 2 plus, what is common here? 2 is common. Say x plus 2 equals 0. So we need to select one of these, and we now have to join this and this together as another solution. So I pick, because there is a replica of this here. I say x plus 2 here, x plus 2 here. So I need to select one of it. So I pick x plus 2, then we equate it equals 0. Or then I need to join, as I drew this, I need to join x plus 2 plus this 2. I'll also equate it to 0 because everything equates to 0. So we now simplify. X equals, when I bring my 2 to this side, it's going to become minus 2. Here too, when I bring my 2 to this side, it becomes, when it crosses the equal sign, the sign in front of it changes, minus 2. And that's the solution. So x minus 2, x minus 2. So that's the way to solve that example. The second example says x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. So here too, our a is 1, b is minus 1, C is minus 6. So I want to multiply my A by my C, which is 1 multiplied by minus 6, which is minus 6. What will I multiply together to get my C? And when I add, I'll get my B. That's, I get this C when I multiply, and when I add, I get this B. So 3 minus 3 and 2. When I multiply minus 3 and 2, it will give me 6 for my C. And when I add them together, it will give me minus 1. So that is what I will be using to simplify further. So that will be, I now have to replace this minus x by these two roots that I got. So that will be x squared minus 3x. I just need to introduce the x to each of them. That's what it means. Plus 2x minus 6 equals 0. Then I can factorize. What is common? So factorizing means you are breaking it up into a group of twos, two sets of terms. So here, and so that will be, so what is common between this will be x. So x minus 3. Then plus this plus sign. What is common between these two terms? 2 is common, which is x minus 3 equals 0. Because there's a duplicate here, I need to pick one of them. So I'll pick the one that I put two strokes under. Then you need to add this together. There's x plus 2, and you also simplify that. So that's the way we do it. Say x plus 2 equals, everything equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. So when this crosses the equal sign, the sign changes. X equals minus 2, or this x equals plus 3. So that's the way to solve that. Okay, example 3. X squared minus 2x minus 15 equals 0. In this case, I just want to use the quadratic formula just to let you understand how that works. The quadratic formula says, so what's the coefficient of x squared? That is, which is a is 1, because we have 1 here. We just don't put it. So there's 1. Then b is minus 2. Remember the sign in front. Then c is minus 15. Always remember the sign. So we now plug that into the equation. X equals minus, that's this minus sign, then minus 2. I like to put it in brackets so I don't get confused. Plus or minus square root of minus 2 squared minus 4. 1 is a, and c is minus 15 all over 2a. Okay, so let's simplify further. That's x equals minus times minus 2 is plus 2, plus or minus square root of minus 2 squared is 4. Then minus 4 times 1 is minus 4, times minus 15 is plus 60 divided by 2. So we can simplify further here. 2 plus or minus square root of 64 all over 2. So x here equals, so 2 plus or minus square root of 64 is 8 over 2. So which implies that, so it means 2 plus 8 over 2, or 2 minus 8 over 2, because of the plus and minus in between. That's what that is saying. So x is equals to 10 over 2, or minus 6 over 2, which we can still simplify further. So x2 will go in 10 5 times, and 2 will go in 6 3 times minus 3. So these are our final answers. The last example, example 4, we're given this equation. So we can either use the quadratic formula, or we can use the other method that I talked about, that we did earlier on, where we multiply the A by the C. And we now start to think about what the possible solutions are. So yeah, so let's do that. So A here is minus 10, B is minus 9, C is 1. So let's use my method. A times C, which is minus 10, times 1, which is minus 10. What do we multiply together to get the C? And when we add it, we get our B. So let's say when we multiply, so that's when we say 10 multiplied by minus 10 multiplied by 1 will give us minus 10. Minus 10 multiplied plus 9 plus 1 will give us minus 9. So I think that's it. So we just need to plug this into minus 9x here. So that's minus 10x squared. Then we bring this there, minus 10x. These all have x's. We just don't put it here when we are trying to get the roots. And plus x plus 1 all equals to 0. So let's move this up a bit. So we need to factorize. So what is common? We factorize this way. So what is common? Minus 10x is common. Minus 10x. So this will be x plus 1. And here, what is common? Plus 1 is common. That's x plus 1 equals 0. So these are replica. So we just choose one of them, and then we form an equation with this. So which is minus 10x plus 1. That's one equation. And we just select the other one. X plus 1 equals 0. So we need to simplify for the minus 10x plus 1 equals 0, or x plus 1 equals 0. So which is minus 10x equals minus 1. So minus can cancel out, so which means we can write it as 10x equals 1, because minus will cancel out minus. So x equals 1 over 10. And on this other side, x, by the time we carry this 1 to this other side, the plus 1, the sign will become negative 1. So this is our solution. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you did, please do subscribe to my channel. See you in the next class. Thank you.